Hello, welcome to the Stage About Rugby League Betting Review for tonight's live game on Sky. It's Hull KR's first game since the sacking of Chris Chester. St Helens are the visitors to East Hull. And, I think injuries are starting to cripple Hull KR. I think, I do think Chris Chester was made a little bit of a scapegoat for what's going on there. They've only played 3 games, they've drawn 1. Okay, they lost badly to Wakefield against Wakefield last week, but you know what, I mean, players like Campese, Manslato, Bodebs are all out at the minute. You can't replace players like that. I mean, like I said last week, they had a bad defeat at home to Wakefield. They've actually booed off the field, which doesn't very happen very often down at Hull KR. But they actually outscored Wakefield for tries. I think it was 4-3. But they missed the kicks. And if you remember the first game of the season against Castleford, that tremendous kick that Manslato landed from the touchline to win and draw at the end. So he's a big miss, Manslato. Some of these players are really, really hard to replace when you've got small squads. St Helens, obviously, they get a big lift from having Rugby back. Now, the first game of the season, Luke Walsh got all the plaudits when they win against Huddersfield, but it's Rugby that makes his team tick. He's tremendous, but I think McDonald's back as well. But Rugby really gives sense to this. It gives them so much go forward. He's the best hooker in the league. He's the one player from another side who, if you could have in your team, you'd probably go for Rugby. He is that good. He's been at the top of his game for 8 years, and he keeps just getting better and better for me. So that's going to give Saints a real lift. Like I said, I mean, Saints 1-6, that is very short to win the game. Hull KR 92, I really can't be having 92 Hull KR. I mean, okay, they actually ended Saints' winning run in the league last year at Hull KR, and they'd probably like to win their losing run this time round, but I just can't have that, not at 92. But the 14-point handicap is quite a lot for Saints. Like I say, Hull KR did have a really good home record last season, but I do think, with Roby back, Saints can cover that. Okay, they've lost really badly over the last 2 weeks. Obviously, the Roosters in the World Cup Series, that's probably not such a big surprise, but obviously they really lost badly to Salford. But Salford have been going okay, and they gave Wigan a really tough game last night. So, that maybe that wasn't such a shameful as it sounded at the time. So, yeah, I do really fancy Saints to cover the handicap. Maybe it's about 16 to 20 point win, something like that. But that's kind of where I see this. I mean, Hull KR are struggling. It's going to take a while for Pochin to turn this round, especially, that's if he keeps the job. We're not quite sure he'll get the job there. But if he keeps the job, it's going to take him a while to turn it around. So, that would be my bet, would be Saints on the handicap, definitely. First try scorers, we'll like them. Maybe look at Jordan Turner and Ken Seo there. They're always decent value, them too. They would like to put up a try. But for me, my value bet of the game would be McCarthy Scarsbrook to score a try any time in the game. He's got his name might be far too long, but I tell you what, he likes to try. I mean, in Kieran Cunningham, when he was playing days, he always used to like barging over from close in for a try when he went to 5 yards out. They kind of use that tactic, and usually LMS is the man. He'll come charging in from a few yards out, just looking to crash over that line. I think with Saints forward pressure over Hull KR, you can just imagine him crashing over. So around about 100 to 37-2 for LMS to score a try any time of the game. That would be kind of my value bet. Now, Mark, we've done really well on lately. We had another one last night. Man of the match was Luke Gale. Okay, you might say it's a bit of an obvious choice, but it was 10-1 pick last night. Luke Gale. We've done really well on that. Obviously, I've already bigged Roby up. I can't really change my mind on that at 92. Okay, it might seem short odds, but you do have to bear in mind they are 1-6 to win the game. That's not really that bad value at all. Compare that to Kelly, who's 10-1. When Hull KR are 4-1 to win the game. So, anyone looking for a Hull KR man of the match, you're probably better off just backing them at 4-1 as opposed to try and pick a man of the match from all that. Like, say 10-1 when they're 4-1 to win the game, that makes him out to be like 6-5 to be the best player for Hull KR. And that is very short. So, yeah, I would look to maybe Roby on the man of the match. Maybe he's a little saver on Walmsley. He's been playing really well, even the game against Salford a couple of weeks ago. He nearly helped get Saints back in that game when he come on. I mean, Saints really do get a lift from when he's on the field. So something around them too would be where I'd be looking in this. But Roby would be my main man of the match. Like I say, maybe he's a little saver on Walmsley, but like I say, any Hull KR players, I'd be looking more to just battle them to win the game. If that's where you want to go. I mean, it's not for me, I must admit, but I mean that's worth looking at. There's one more game tonight. You've got Warrington against Wakefield. Warrington, a massive 24-point start they're giving Wakefield. Okay, Wakefield got smashed at Castleford, first away game, but they kept it fairly tight against Widnes. Well, the scoreline was close anyway, and obviously they won at Hull KR last week. So I think possibly, I think they score a couple of tries Wakefield, and that would mean Warrington having to get over 40 points, and they've not played last week, so maybe they need a rest, maybe they don't. I would say you probably don't. We want to play every week this time of year and keep your rhythm going. So that extra week extra game last week could actually benefit Wakefield. So I think probably, if pushed out, he certainly wouldn't be risk. He wouldn't want to risk your life savings on Wakefield. That's for certain. I mean, they're not very reliable, and they're liable to turn 3 or 4 tries over in 10 minutes. So, but I just about think they could probably stay inside 24 points. Now, I have kind of more than not favoured the team getting the handicap in these early days. Like I said, the weather can be cold, it can be wet, so that certainly favours keeping scores low. Okay, I've gone the other way with Saints. I do think for once that could be the time to back the team on the minus. So so I think it'll be Saints and Wakefield me too on the handicap would be. But like I say, we've got a bonus game tomorrow. I'll be on YouTube. We'll have a preview of Leeds' visit to Catalan. I mean, Leeds are about 2-1 to win in France. Long time since we saw them kind of odds for Leeds to win a Super League game. That's for certain. But we'll have a look tomorrow. And like I say, enjoy your rugby and please, as always, gamble responsibly.